Hello and welcome to a World's Scariest Police Chases. I need to show you this game. Like, seriously. So... This is like an open world PS1 game. It came out in like '01. And it is about the closest... we're not gonna be bothering with that. It is about the closest you can get to, like, GTA on the PS1 that I've seen. And by the way, yeah, you have, you could theoretically shoot stuff. But yeah, I would just want to explore the world a little bit, just because this game is huge. And the way it works is similar to Soul Reaver, where it just streams in data from the disk, both like graphics, audio, and obviously like physical geometry data. Of course, an issue that we will run into kind of quickly is that we have limited health, and if we die, we have to restart. But as you can see, we see beach reached. And she comments on that. At this point in time, if you go on the city map and zoom in, you can see that there's like a bunch of different waypoints around the place. I don't know if that means anything. A part of me feels like this game may have wanted to be... I mean, it could be something greater. The issue is it's stuck on the PS1. I can view some statistics that you can't, and this game really doesn't use that many polygons per frame. It runs at like 20 to 30 FPS, depending on the situation. But what I find the most interesting is just how the game doesn't really use that much VRAM. Not VRAM, sorry, that many polygons. Like, okay, granted, it's like, you know, not too many whatevers, but it's really a graphically simple game, which makes me think that they may have originally planned more. Because, of course, like, the graphics doesn't seem to be the bottleneck in this game. With the way that the PS1 was designed, you have... Oh, we're going down the same place again, so let's go down here. With the way the PS1 was designed, very often you would either... By the way, there's a damage model. You would either run into issues of fill rate, if you have too many big polygons, or you would run into issues with bandwidth. So not bandwidth, into issues with, like, the geometry transformation engine just not being able to transform enough things quickly enough. What's interesting is that, for instance, Gran Turismo 1 crunches so many polygons on its, you know, Gran Turismo 1, yeah, it crunches so many polygons on the 60 FPS mode, like 75k or something, but it's still... This game has so much detail, just with all the weirdo little areas you can explore. There's obviously a mainline mission mode that I'm ignoring, but that's because the mission mode, it is kind of fun. It can be a little bit annoying sometimes, but it is fun. The main thing that I find interesting in this game, though, is just driving around, which is why I decided to make this video. We will have to die at some point, because, you know, health is limited and my driving is bad. But yeah, I just want to explore the map, because it's absolutely crazy how big this place is.
Control, we're now heading south on...
There's also some cheat codes, but, oh fuck, I never played with them. You can get, like, low gravity, which sounds cool, oh fuck. And, like, rear wheel steering, which is interesting. Fuck, at some point, this game, like, culls stuff really aggressively, because it's a PS1 game. So sometimes you can see a polygon disappear when it's still kind of, you know, visible to the camera. I wish there was a way to, like, disable the code which spawns the cars. But we'll just have to deal with it. Yeah, I'm also driving an undercover car because I think this one is a little bit faster. I don't know. But yeah, like, the map itself is, I mean, I guess we can show it. Here's the full map. It's huge.
We need an oil check?
Go get him.
By the way, yeah, you can shoot at the suspect, but just following him for long enough, at least in this mode. No, I'm not. Ow! Yeah, I'm not bothering. Whatever. Okay, hit the gas. We can just continue going. Yeah. I haven't explored most of this game. I've driven around a little bit for, like, some footage I, like, never ended up using, I don't think. But yeah, like, this game, I know it's a PS1 game, but it looks great. Like, first of all, the art style is really good, but more importantly, it seems to actually handle the, like, there's not that many polygons on screen, and, stuff like distortion is handled relatively well. I mean, if you look at the buildings, you can still see the texture warping happen,
Control, we're now heading
but
north
it's
on
fine.
412.
It's not necessarily bad. One big criticism reviewers had of this game is the lack of music. And, yeah, I agree. There is music on the main menu, which is kind of funny. Just none in-game. Stuff like that makes me feel like, you know, they were trying to make the game larger than it is, but, you know, then eventually they just kinda ran out of time, ran out of money. I don't know. Well, that's kinda how I feel about... Well, I mean, that was the situation with Quake 2 on the PS1. They were going to, like, add streaming, so there were no annoying loading zones, but they ran out of time. The idea basically is, you can just load levels in these kinds of games in chunks. Oh, it did. And there's really not much you can... There's really not much that limits you. If I hit try again... What will it load? Oh, it just tells me choose your vehicle. If I quit... Have I unlocked new locations now? Free patrol, 1 player. Yeah, I have. Okay, let's go to the gas station. Sorry, to the academy, because that's where I was last time. I know there's a cheat code for other vehicles, but none of them are like race car. So I didn't want to bother getting any of them. Also, because this is like, you know, streaming in data, loading is actually kind of quick. Also, the main menu runs at 60 FPS, but you don't know that because I'm recording at 30, because, I don't know, I'm lazy. That's what it was earlier, so I just left it at that, yeah. And I mean, from the other stuff, there's dynamic weather. The city is, like, really varied, which is, if you've ever played, like, Driver 2, you know that, like, the city is huge, but it's weirdly samey. Here it feels like it's a lot more of the GTA approach, which, you know, I think came out at a similar time as this game, just on the PS2. But yeah, there was, like, no way in hell before this that, like, people... Oh, wow. You can see the red bar is the damage we're dealing to him. And, the blue bar is so close we are to arresting him. Something interesting is that this actually has, like, low detail and high detail textures, and you can see the game kind of switch between them.
We lost him.
It's interesting, right?
We're now heading north on Euclid Street.
But yeah, like, there are so many different parts of the map. Some of them, like, kind of, pique your interest a little bit. Like, what's that little internal area over there? I guess we can drive to it and see. Makes me... Oh, a hospital.
We lost him.
It makes me wonder how many different, like, areas there are that are not really on the map. Oops. I guess we'll see. We can go up there, because I think there's something up there as well. Also, the controls in this game are kinda heavy. Like, it's like the Need for Speed The Run. You know, the best modern Need for Speed game. But yeah, like... Vehicles have a lot of weight to them. And in order to drive them effectively, you need to learn how to, like, apply the vehicle's weight. If you know what I mean? Like, when you're going to turn, like right now, right? When, Actually, wait, I want to go to... You see that weird long spot down here? Like this. I want to go there. So...
Don't let him get away.
I don't care, game! Oh yeah, so we'll have to turn right here. But yeah, you kind of have to... lead the car into the turn. Oh, we're smoking. That's not good. Whatever. But yeah. Oh, actually.
Control, we're now heading west in Chinatown Tunnel.
Chinatown Tunnel. Oh, he's turning. I don't care. Yeah, like, imagine if this game was like... Because, and I don't know if you've seen it or not, but this game does actually have pedestrians. Look.
We lost him.
It doesn't have that many of them. But it does have pedestrians as well. So part of me wonders, you know, could you turn this into a GTA-style game? Like, obviously, it would be less impressive, but...
Interstate 112.
We are in pursuit.
You know, it's, If they made Chinatown Walls on the DS, why not make this on the PS1? The AI can be a little bit stupid. Yeah, let's capture them. Oh, come back, it. Yeah, we are one sneeze away from the vehicle exploding.
Got him.
Yeah. It's pretty sick. Huh. I went the wrong way. That's the simplest way I can hit try again. The game will try to load in the area, which is actually kind of quick for a PS1 game. And what's kind of funny is that this background actually takes a little bit to load. But yeah. I don't want to use guns. I think it's a little bit... Well, it's better than it is in San Andreas, honestly. There you can just shoot, like... Yeah, but you can see, yeah, pedestrian. He just jumps out of the way. Jankily. Kinda simple, but, you know. So we have to go up.
We lost him.
I was watching, like, the way the game loads in stuff. It is just in, like, bits and chunks and stuff. But yeah, I mean, this game looks so... Oh my god, a hamburger joint. Could I park here? And a... Metro Mall. Nope. Hey, okay.
We are in pursuit.
No, 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 no. Get me out of here. Anyways, yeah. Like, realistically speaking, the game being quote-unquote impressive
We're now heading south.
is the most impressive part about the game, right? I mean, the gameplay is fine, but the appeal of this game is just like, you know, running around in this huge open world and seeing what there is to see. And this video is going to be long because I want to explore, well, not all of the game, but I want to explore like a decent chunk. Like we're here where the big houses are. I've never fucking been here before. Let's go over here. What's over here? Well, there's a parked car with its lights on. I think that's just a game thing. But yeah, like, there's so much stuff here. And these kinds of games are what I find the most interesting about, you know, the PS1 and stuff. Oh, I think there...
Go get it.
Is this like a tennis court? I think it is. Football? I don't know. There's so much weird experimental stuff here. I mean, we can check.
We lost him.
It was a game published in June. So this game came out before GTA 3. I don't know if it's before, like, GTA 3 was announced, or before it came out. But you know, very clearly, by the way, the studio that made the game obviously went bust. But
Go get it.
yeah, there's a lot good in this game. There's a lot of very interesting stuff here. Even if a lot of that is kind of mechanical. So I understand, like, why it wasn't that impressive-ish to reviewers, but it shows how much can be done on a PS1. As we're speaking, some guy is trying to port... Hey, we found a new place. Well, I say some guy, that's kind of a disservice. The person who ported Tomb Raider to the GBA and worked on Tomb Raider 4, 5, and 6. Also, look at this, there are like train tracks up here. Yeah, the person who did that started to try to make a Half-Life version that runs on the PS1. And like, it's gonna be better because you can just remove the loading zones with streaming. And because the 2x CD player on a PS1 can transfer stuff at like, what, 300 kilobytes per second? And you only have like 3.5 megabytes of total storage. That's really not a lot. You can just load and store stuff, it's fine. Not store, but load stuff. Load and unload, I guess. But that's kind of the thing, right? Like, GTA is a huge franchise, but there was nothing stopping developers from making it on the PS1. But the PS2 was like, you know, the first system a real open world could be done reliably in. Because there were open world PS1 games with like data streaming, but there weren't that many of them. Like, Soul Reaver was kind of cool. It didn't have loading zones. Then there was like another game, like, and then another game. And this was also on PS2 or whatever. But overall, like, most of these games just couldn't be bothered. it wasn't really a thing developers or players cared about that much. Is this the place where we start off originally? Yep. Yeah, it is. But yeah, like, something which I find really interesting is how, like, loading times aren't really something people complain about unless it's on a, like, particularly egregious Sonic 06 level, right? From what I've seen, the complaint about, you know, PS1 loading times is more of a recent thing because, well, I guess not recent, but it's an on and off thing. Because, like, for a while, video games have had some pretty weird loading times. Like, on the PS1, PS2, PS3, PS4, like, Wii U, fucking Wii, GameCube. You had a lot of these games where you had, like, you know, kind of awful loading times, all things considered. But, people only care if they're particularly egregious. You know, like, on the, fucking Sonic 06. Ooh, a beach. One of the more interesting side effects of this is the fact that, like, the N64, still had loading times in some games that were sometimes, like, not in all games, but in stuff like GoldenEye or, like, the Quake games, like, as bad as on a lot of the PS1 games, and then nobody ever mentioned that an issue with those games were the dreaded loading times. It's more just that it's a gotcha. It's kind of like how nobody really complains about, like, lower frame rates in these games until it's you know, time to make a point. I know that is a little bit rich coming from me, but my issue of the N64 isn't that a game ran at a low frame rate, it's that when games on the N64 drop frames, they would run on VSync. Oh, that guy is just gone. Okay. Actually, let's crash the car and quit and respawn. But yeah, so on the N64, right? By the way, I'm gonna just save. Memory card, save. But yeah, so on the N64, right, when you drop one frame, you have to wait for the next video frame. It's not like, you know, so like if your game is running at 40 FPS, you're gonna get like one 60 FPS frame and then a 31, you know, and it's gonna look really jittery. Meanwhile, the PS1 just outputted like whenever a new frame was done. And most of the time, it was the better option because then developers basically didn't have to focus on a game. Because when you're playing these kinds of games, right? Like, this is the case with Gran Turismo, where the game runs at like 25 to 30 FPS. Maybe when the game is really demanding, the frame rate will drop down to like 25, but most of the time, the game runs at 30. But if Gran Turismo was on the N64, and they were trying to make the game run smooth, they couldn't have that sort of leeway, because the game would, like, drop from 20 FPS to a mixture of 30 and 15 FPS, depending on which frame is on screen. And I don't know if you can tell from the way I'm describing it, that would suck. Like, really suck. But it is what it is, you know? You can't necessarily fix this sort of stuff. Yeah, not much I can do on the side of the road. Like, there's not much you can really do as a game developer to, like, if you ever wanted to do homebrew, right? There's literally no way in hell you can, like, change that behavior. But if you want, you know, it's kind of like that whole, which system gets homebrew, where, like, very often it's a mixture of fanboyism and a lack of its own stuff, right? Like, the PS1 was kind of easy to dev for. Kind of simple, you know? Oh, You know, the PS1 was easy to dev for, right? Kind of simple, etc., etc., and, it doesn't have that much homebrew on it until, like, you know, excluding a few people. Partially because a lot of the PS1 people aren't really, you know, like, I guess it depends, but, there's not that much, you know, huge nostalgia. That and also the system is, like, weaker in a CPU sense, so yeah, I guess it depends on what you want, like, you know, but I don't know. To me, I am honestly kinda not that surprised, because the thing with cartridges is that, most homebrew, like, is tech demos, and for a tech demo, you're rarely gonna, like, have to worry about actual disk speeds or whatever, you know? That and the fact the expansion pack will give you 8 megabytes of space to play with, just makes it easier to dev games for it. Meanwhile, if you want to become a game dev for, like, the PS1, and you want to test your stuff on real hardware, you're gonna have to buy, like, a normal PS1, and then, I mean, let's assume you already have one, then you only have to get one extra one, and then modify it to become a net Eurose by desoldering the RAM and soldering in 8 megabyte chips. And then there you go, you now have a net Eurose, and now you have 2 megabytes of RAM and 6 more megabytes. Is that a limo? Which you can use for, like, debugging and stuff.
Control, we're now heading east on Interstate 112.
Yeah, by the way, that's kind of, I don't know how much RAM the debug kits for the N64 had. I assume either 16 or 32 megs? I don't know. Oh my god, the AI can't drive the limo for shit. It is a limo. Yeah, whatever. We're not staying up here, we're turning left, and the next possible turn, which is right here. Shit, come on. Turn here, I guess.
We lost him.
Yeah, we're gonna lose a car if there's gonna be so much traffic here. But yeah, I mean, I do know this video started as something else, but it's mostly just being me. Oh my god, there's another cop car. Wait. Can I? Yeah. Oh, yeah, I can. I can get up here. Can I get down? Yeah. Fuck. Well, we're gonna lose the guy. Whatever. Yeah. Fuck. It's a cop car. It's fine, we're cops. But yeah. Because this was made after World's Scare.
We are in pursuit.
Okay. Because this was made after World's Scariest Police Chases, the TV show. Which is kind of crazy. That's why the game name sounds like it would suck. But it's actually a really impressive game for what it is. And, like, some people wonder stuff like, oh, could you do this on the N64? Let me be real with you, man. This game is 227 megs. And I'm gonna bet you that like half of that are FMVs. Oh god, wait, this is still splitting every half hour. That's not good, I'll have to fix that eventually. But yeah, this game,
Don't let him get away.
if you can't tell, is a lot more than a basic, you know, tie-in. It's really cool for what it is, and I'm gonna be honest, it's one of those things where it is the sort of stupid. Can I go down there?
We lost him.
I can. I'll have to turn around and go back, but still. Oh, I see. Now we'll just turn around over here. It's like, I bet you half the file size are FMVs, but still, like, I mean, you could shove this on a 64 megabyte cartridge and then you could have half the game.
Can't wait to get some time off.
Hello.
We are in pursuit.
But hey, we unlocked a new area, that's nice. Fuck. Realistically, what got me into this video was I was Googling and I saw, like, fuck. I saw unlock all areas as one of the cheat codes. So yeah. Free patrol, 1 player. Airport. But yeah. This would be a killer game if it had, like, GTA gameplay. I mean, you already, yeah. I picked the police car this time, huh? Whatever. I like how I'm going the wrong way. It's fine. Wait, now I'm gonna get onto the wrong side of the highway. Fine. But yeah, how do I... Is there a way to turn your lights on? I'm pretty sure there is. That's the handbrake. What's that?
Lost him.
Nope. Triangle does, yeah. Oh, we're in the suburbs now, huh?
Don't let him get away.
Well, weren't there suburbs in other parts? Whatever. I guess suburbs mean that it's actually suburban and not just... Yeah. You can kind of see the distortion more here. But, yeah, like on the pavement. But it's not that noticeable unless you really focus on it, and when you get on the pavement, like... Yeah, it's one of those kind of who cares things, you know? Still though, yeah, I mean, I have to repeat myself, but what is here is wildly impressive. Something else cool is, depending on what you get on, like, depending on what you're driving on, you make different noises. Which is kind of cool. Also, yeah, you can't go there. Tried. You instead have to go back and, drive down through this side. So this is also some, like, I'm gonna call it GTA design, where, like, parts of the map are designed less like a real city would be, and more like a fun city would be, you know? But yeah. I feel like this is a lot. I mean, an issue with this kind of train loading is that... Okay, we hit a wall. Is that, you're kind of limited by the fact, like, you know, you can put a lot of detail here, as you can see, but this is all, like, you know, over there. I don't know how much memory this even uses. But I would not be surprised if you could maybe, if you maybe lower the detail density a little bit. Or, you know, you could actually have, like, you could use this and the Terracon system. I guess maybe the Terracon system would be better, but, like, you know, you could have, like, an actual open space. Fuck.
Control, we're now heading north.
Because
Foster Road.
remember that the area that this is loading, like, as you're driving, right? Textures aren't loading in as you're, you know, driving. I mean, I guess we can test it out now. You won't be able to see this, but I have a debug option here called show DMA state. So we'll just have that open on the side. And let's stop. Okay. Huh. Oh yeah, now it's loading. I need to get, yeah, okay, hey. Thanks for pushing me, I guess. So, oh, now it's loading stuff. Yeah, but you can see the actual render distance is quite decent. It's, mostly, because, you know, this doesn't actually take up that much space. The actually intensive thing is, you know, rendering it, which is why, like, the game renders a far larger area. Actually, let's do something stupid. I know, I think I've explored enough of the map. I'm gonna go into settings of the emulator, and I'm going to, system, change disk, remove disk. Let's see what happens. Oh! There we go. It's waiting. The disc should be in now. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, you can see the game's loading a pretty big environment basically all the time. And yeah, sometimes, yeah, like over here, I'm pretty sure, yeah, some of the close-up textures are streamed in exactly. Yeah. So maybe this game really couldn't fit on a 64 meg thing. But yeah, if I remove disk again, how far can we get until... Oh yeah, up until there. And then the game just stops until it loads the disk. And then... Yeah, I just had to speed it up a little bit, but yeah. And then it will just load stuff. So yeah. It's interesting, if nothing else, you know? But yeah, I know this is kind of a long video and kind of a stupid one, but I guess thanks for watching. See you next time when we drive better. Nah, I'm kidding, there's no next time for this. This game, weirdly enough, you know, it's only interesting. You know, it's only interesting as a novelty because of how cool, like, the mechanics are. But that's kind of the thing, right? It's by, like, as a game, it's not as fun as something like Gran Turismo, even if it's way more impressive technically. But it is what it is. I'll see you next time in whatever other game. Goodbye.